Hi, this is Linda Mullen from Back to the Beach Software. Today I'm going to show you how to upload your website to the Internet using the Web Studio Uploader. Now, if you're an iHost Studio customer, you may be using the iHost Studio Uploader. However, everyone can use the Web Studio Uploader, and this webinar will show you how. First, I will go over the steps for uploading and show you the uploading dialogues so that I can tell you how to fill in the fields. Then I'll upload an actual website to the Internet so that you can see the steps in action. Let's begin. Probably want to check your project before it goes up on the Internet. There's a couple of things you can do. The first thing is to check to make sure that all of the objects that you want to have links do have them. This is a really easy way to check. Go to the View tab, go to the Highlight Objects group, and click Objects with Links. That will display a red box around every object in your website that has a link. The second thing you can do is to live site or trial host your project. Go to the Preview, Upload, Host tab. If you don't have that tab in your program, you don't have the latest build of Web Studio. So the best thing for you to do is to go to the live chat, and they'll direct you for the correct download that will upgrade you to this latest build. In this tab, we have Live Site and Trial Host. Live Site puts your website online for 48 hours. Trial Host puts your website online for 24 hours. Once your website is up temporarily online, you can use that link and send it to clients or friends so that they can review your website also. Now, before you live site or trial host your project, you want to close all your pages except your home page and the master page if you're using one. And the easiest and fastest way to do that is to hold down the Control key while you press the W key. And if you hold the W key down, it'll just automatically close one page after another. It's the fastest way to do that. Then you want to check for a couple of icons in your page list. Every website needs to have a home page, and the home page has a little house icon next to it. So if you look in your page list and there's no house icon, go to the page that you want to use for your home page, right-click on it, and choose Home Page. If you're using a master page, the master page should have a little M icon next to it. If you don't see that icon, then right-click over the page and choose Use as Master Page. A dialog is going to come up and say, you're about to stop using a master page. Are you sure you want to do this? And you're going to click Yes, because you're going to go right back after you click Yes, right-click on the page again, choose Use as Master Page, and that will put the M icon there. As with live hosting, live site and trial hosting, you're going to go ahead and close all your pages except your home page and your master page. The next thing in the checklist is to tell Web Studio what kind of hosting you're using. And the reason for this is that whatever host you choose indicates the type of uploader that Web Studio will open up for you to use. If you choose Use iHost Studio, and the only ones who should ever choose that are iHost Studio customers, then you will use the iHost Studio Uploader. All other hosting companies and any iHost Studio customers who want to use the Web Studio Uploader should click on Use Another Host. Once you've done that, you're ready to connect and upload your website. Go over to the Upload Website command and click on it. This opens up the uploading dialog. At the bottom of the dialog is the Connect button, and before you can upload your website, you have to tell Web Studio how it's going to connect to your hosting company. You click on Connect, and it has a dialog where you fill out all of your hosting company information. I'm going to close that for a minute, and I'm going to close this dialog so that I can go over the fields in that Connect dialog and tell you exactly how to fill them out. The first field is called the profile name. That is a name that you give to yourself, to this project, so that you can remember which project it is. If you're a web designer and you're designing projects for a lot of different people, all of your projects will be listed in this area. You click on the black arrow. It shows the drop-down list, and you select the project name that you're working on. The second field is the FTP address. You will get the FTP address from your hosting company. And FTP addresses may be different. They may not all look the same. Some hosting companies may have you type in FTP dot followed by your site name. Some hosting companies may have you put just in your site name without the HTTP or the www. Other hosting companies will tell you that they want you to use something called an IP address for your FTP address. And an IP address looks very different because it's a series of numbers. It may be 153-61-44-161. This series of numbers is what you will put in the FTP address. Remember that the FTP address is something that your hosting company will give you. If you're an iHostStudio customer, your FTP address will always be your site name without the HTTP and without the www. So your FTP address will look very similar to this one. The next field is your login, and that's the login that you use for your hosting company. The password is the password you use with your hosting company. Make sure that this little box, Save Password, is checked. We want to have a check in that box. And you might want to make a note of your password. Down here in this field is the root directory. Now the root directory for my hosting company is public_HTML. Some hosting companies may tell you that you don't need a root directory and they'll have you leave that blank. But the root directory is something that you get from your hosting company. If you're an iHostStudio customer, your root directory will always be HTTP docs. This bottom field is by default checked to use passive FTP. Just leave it that way and click OK. Now that you've seen how to fill out the dialog, I'm going to actually upload a website. This is my test site that I created with some of my own artwork. And you'll see that I've highlighted objects that have links on them. I'm going to go to the View tab and turn that off. My home page has a house. My master page has an M. All of my pages are closed except for my home page and my master page. I'm going to click on the Preview Upload Host. I'm going to check Use Another Host because I want WebStudio to use the WebStudio uploader, not the iHostStudio uploader. And I'm going to click Upload Website. This opens up the uploading dialog, lists all of the pages that I have, and has a button for me to connect to my hosting company. I've given this the name of this project, the WebStudio Test. The FTP address is webstudiotest.com. This is my hosting login and my hosting password, and I've checked Save Password. My hosting company uses this root directory. And down here in my website address, I want you to notice that I've put my complete and full website address in that field, including the HTTP and the www. I'm using passive FTP, and I click OK. I am now connected, and I want you to notice that now this side of the page is populated with all my files, and the top field shows my root directory. Now I'm ready to upload my website. Let's look down here in the left side of the dialog box. There's a little field that's called Upload Only Changed Files. I want you to make sure that there is no check in that box. If the box looks like this, then click on it to remove the check. That's because it's important to upload all your pages the first time you use this uploader. That means if you've just created a website and you're putting it on the website, on the internet for the first time, you're uploading all your pages. It also means that if you were a Web Studio 4.0 customer and now you are a 5.0 customer and you're using this uploader for the first time, or you're an iHost Studio customer and you're using this for the first time, the first time you use this dialog to upload your website, you always choose Upload All Pages. Another time that you're going to choose Upload All Pages is if you make a major change to your website. For instance, let's say you add a page, or you delete a page, or you start to use a master page, or maybe you've got a lot of images on your website and you've taken them down and you've replaced a lot of things. You've done a lot of activity on your website. Always upload all your pages again. If you found a misspelled word and you're just changing one little thing, then you can go over here and choose Upload Only Changed Files. But right now, I'm going to upload all my pages. As soon as I click that button, Web Studio begins to give me some dialog boxes that tell me what Web Studio is doing. It says, please wait while your website is being built onto your hard drive. Once that is done, then Web Studio begins to send your website over to your hosting company. Over here, it gives you an overall progress of the upload. It even gives you an estimated time remaining in the upload. I'm down to 37 seconds. In the middle, it shows you the files that are being uploaded to the internet so that you can watch the progress of the upload as it goes along. I'm almost done. My website is almost on the internet. I just have a couple of seconds left. And as soon as it's finished, I get this dialog that says, your website has been successfully uploaded to your hosting. So I'm going to click OK. After the upload, I have a new button that's activated in my dialog called View Site Now. I can click on this button and immediately see my website on the internet. Notice up here in the URL that it's actually my website address. My website is now on the internet. However, I want to point out right now that after your website goes on the internet, the search engines have to go out and find it and list it. So if you upload your website right now and then 10 minutes from now do a search to see in the search parameters if it's going to pull it up, you may not find it. The search engines have something called crawlers, and the crawlers go out at different times searching for new websites and then list them in the search engines. So I'm going to close this. You can see, I'm going to show you that my full website is up here. You can click on my links and go from page to page. I'm going to close all these tabs. And now I'm back in Web Studio, and I'm going to say that I'm done. My website is now on the internet. I'll save my site because I always do that before I close it. And by the way, it's a really good idea for you to have your website project saved in an external hard drive or an external flash drive somewhere that is off your computer in case you have a computer crash. Also, when you upload your website and you get to this little connect box, you can do it whichever way you like, but I actually just take a screenshot of this so that I can remember all of the fields and how they're filled in. I do this in case there's a computer crash or in case I have to uninstall and reinstall Web Studio for some reason. Web Studio won't be able to remember that information and you'll have to fill it in again. So if you keep a copy of it somewhere, it really saves time. I'm going to get out of this, and I'm going to go back to here because I want to give you a couple of tips before I close. The first tip is to go to the Page tab, click on the little arrow underneath the Google Sitemap, and watch the video that we have for you that tells you about the Google Sitemap. It's a very good video. You really, really need to watch it. The second thing I want to tell you is that Google has some webmaster tools that are really, really good for you to use. When I want to access them, I do Google Webmaster Tools in my search box, and what comes up is something that looks like this, and I click on the link. In the Webmaster Tools, Google has articles on how you can get your site seen on the Internet. It also has a place for you to submit your website to the Google search engine. This area of Google is really valuable, and I've used it many, many times. This concludes our webinar on how to upload your website, and I hope this was valuable to you. Thank you for watching.